Two teenage boys, Ethan and Liam, pedaled up to a gleaming luxury car dealership on their bicycles. Dressed in cargo shorts, plain white tees, and well-worn sneakers, they carried no hint of wealth, just the spark of curiosity in their eyes. The soft squeak of their bike tires faded as they parked near the entrance and stepped through the glass doors, which parted with a quiet whoosh. Inside, rows of pristine cars sparkled under the showroom light's sleek curves, oversized wheels, emblems that screamed exclusivity. The boys stood still, awestruck, their gazes fixed on a stunning obsidian black hypercar, its price tag reading over $900,000, one of only a handful in the country. Ethan nudged Liam and whispered, "That's the one." They approached cautiously, not touching, just admiring. But before they could linger, a sharp voice cut through the air. "Can I help you?" A salesman, impeccably dressed in a tailored gray suit, polished shoes gleaming, approached with a smirk. His eyes scanned their casual clothes, lingering on their scuffed sneakers. "I think you're in the wrong place," he said, his tone dripping with condescension. "These cars start at $900,000. Snickers rippled from nearby staff, and a couple at a sales desk. Ethan's face fell. Liam stared at the floor. "Sorry," Ethan mumbled, and they turned to leave, shoulders slumped, the glass doors whispering shut behind them. As they reached their bikes, a voice called out, "Wait." A woman stepped forward from a nearby desk, her expression warm but steady. Dressed in a simple white blouse and black slacks, her hair in a neat ponytail, she radiated sincerity. "Do you have a minute?" she asked. The boys hesitated, then walked back inside. "I heard you asking about that car," she said, gesturing to the hypercar. "It's one of our finest. Let me show you why." Her name was Sarah Bennett, and she spoke to them at eye level, explaining the engine specs, design, and technology with patience. She handed them brochures, answering their thoughtful questions about engineering and legacy, not price. "Want to sit in it?" she offered. Their eyes widened. "Seriously?" Liam asked. She nodded, and they took turns sitting inside, careful and reverent. When they stepped out, she handed them her card. "Call me if you have more questions. You're always welcome here." They thanked her, rode off, heads a little higher. Back at the dealership, the smug salesman, Michael, scoffed to a coworker. "She's wasting her time." Sarah overheard but ignored him. Something about Ethan and Liam, their quiet curiosity, their resilience, reminded her of her own underestimated youth. The day ended, lights dimmed, doors locked. But the story wasn't over. In a sprawling hillside mansion, where glass walls framed a golden sunset, Ethan and Liam stepped inside, their sneakers soft against marble floors. The house was elegant, curated, whispering wealth. They dropped their backpacks in the foyer, the weight of the day still heavy. "Where's Dad?" Liam asked. "Study," Ethan replied. They walked past a modern chandelier, down a hallway where faint jazz drifted, to a set of oak doors. Inside, their father, James Carter, sat at a grand piano, a glass of untouched whiskey on its edge. He looked up, his presence commanding yet calm. "Back already?" he asked. They nodded. He studied them. "Everything okay?" Ethan hesitated, then said, "No, not really." James motioned to the armchairs by the fireplace. "Sit." They told him everything: the dealership, the hypercar, Michael's sneer, the laughter, Sarah's kindness. James listened, swirling his glass without drinking. "Did she know who you were?" he asked. "No," Ethan said. "We didn't mention our last name." James nodded, murmuring, "Smart." Liam asked quietly, "Why do people judge you based on clothes?" James met his gaze. "Because they mistake appearance for worth. That says more about them than you." He stood, walked to the window, and stared at the horizon. After a long pause, he said, "Thank you for telling me." The boys exchanged glances, unsure, but his calm felt heavier than anger. Dinner was quiet, the mahogany table too large for three. James ate methodically, the chandelier casting a soft glow. Ethan broke the silence. "You're not mad." James set down his fork. "I don't waste anger on people who reveal themselves. I notice, and I act when it matters." Upstairs, Liam asked Ethan, "Will he do something?" Ethan smiled. "You know, Dad." In his study, James made a call. "I need both cars here by 8 a.m. tomorrow. No delays. Have the drivers wait outside the dealership. Timing matters." He paused. It's time they learn not everyone who looks ordinary is. He hung up, leaning back, his son's humiliation fueling a quiet resolve. The next morning, two Rolls-Royce boat tails obsidian black and sapphire blue, worth over $50 million combined, glided to a stop outside the dealership. Heads turned, phones emerged, whispers spread. Are those boat tails? 2. Ethan and Liam stepped out of the blue car, still in cargo shorts and tees, calm and unassuming. Then James emerged from the black car, his tailored navy suit exuding effortless authority. The showroom froze. Michael, mid-laugh with a co-worker about those scruffy kids, went pale, his smirk vanishing as he recognized them. The glass doors parted, and the trio entered, the crowd parting instinctively. James approached the reception desk. I'd like to speak to the staff member who helped my sons yesterday. The receptionist stammered. Yes, sir. Michael stepped forward, voice overly cheerful. That was me, sir. James's gaze was ice. No, you weren't the one who helped. He turned to the manager, who watched nervously. Your cameras caught yesterday's interaction? The manager nodded. We archive everything. James's voice was low, firm. Review it before we continue. The manager scurried to his office. Silence gripped the showroom. Staff whispered, realizing who the boys were. 5 minutes later, the manager returned, pale. The staff member who helped was Sarah Bennett. This man, he gestured to Michael, misrepresented the interaction. His behavior was unprofessional. James faced Michael. You judged my sons by their clothes, not their character. You mocked them, assumed they didn't belong. The irony is, you don't belong here. The manager stepped in. He's terminated, effective immediately. Michael slunk out, past the boys he'd dismissed. James turned to the manager. Bring me Sarah. She appeared, confused but smiling when she saw Ethan and Liam. Is everything okay? James's expression softened. More than okay. You treated my sons with respect when no one else did. He pointed to the hypercar. They like that one. I'd like to purchase it, fully loaded, every feature they mentioned. Sarah's eyes widened. That's over $3 million. James pulled out a pen. Make it 3.1 and ensure the full commission goes to you. He signed the paperwork on the counter where Michael had laughed. The boys took the keys, their pride quiet but undeniable. They walked to the boat tails, no longer underestimated but unforgettable. As the hypercar rolled away, its engine purring, the dealership fell silent. Employees who'd laughed stood speechless, shaken not by wealth, but by the lesson. Sarah, now promoted to senior sales consultant, walked through the showroom with quiet grace, her kindness rewarded. The empty desk where Michael once sat spoke louder than his voice ever had. This wasn't about car sit, was about respect, earned not demanded, and the cost of judging too quickly.